How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel. And Arsenal are playing Wigan Athletic in the FA Cup tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow evening kickoff at 4:30. Arsenal are playing against Wigan. Quite a few games already have happened. Sorry, I'm not gonna lie. Quite a few games have already happened. Chelsea have been Hull City. Wrexham have been Ipswich Town. West Ham barely scraped past Burton. Norwich have beaten West Ham. West Brom, Southampton beat Leicester. Burnley lost to Mansfield Town. And ironically, Burnley was at home at Turf Moor. You don't see that every day. Man City beat Salford 2-0. And of course, at the moment, Aston Villa are joined Newcastle 1-1 with 10 men. Bizet, the goalkeeper, did a madness there. It is what it is. And of course, this evening as well, as I'm recording this, so this evening, in 46 minutes, Liverpool are playing against Brighton in the FA Cup. But we are here to talk about Arsenal. And after the nightmare, I'm not gonna lie, it was a rough one to watch, against Brighton, oh my, too many B's. Brentford, actually, where we played very, very rough game. 2 shots on target. 1 in the first half, 1 in the second half, and Martinelli, if he doesn't get that chance, which he should have scored, but he fluffed it, let's just put it that way, we would have had 1 shot on target throughout the course of 90 minutes, which is utterly sheer embarrassing for a team that is so-called going for the title. City have closed the gap to 4 points and everything, but we put that aside for a second. And we are focusing on the FA Cup. The 4th round of FA Cup is upon us. As we talked about, Arsenal are playing against Wigan. And this is a game where Arsenal have no excuses not to win. There literally are 0 excuses. Because Arsenal, in their history, when they play these games, obviously it was more under Arsene Wenger. Of course, we played quite a bit of random players with what it felt like, and we still got the job done quite emphatically, and we moved on. With Arteta, it's been a bit different. He has to play some of the best players and everything. It is what it is. At the same time, since winning the FA Cup, ironically enough, Arteta hasn't gone too far in the competition. 3rd, 4th round exits most of the time, so I hope tomorrow it is not the case where we see the same. We are playing Wigan, if I'm not mistaken. Wait, let me check quickly because I'm blanking on this as I'm recording this. I'm very sorry. Yes, we are playing them at the Emirates. Should be a light work, especially at home where we are strong, we are solid. We should be very direct, very forward thinking. No defensive crap as we see in the Premier League and all this stuff. We should beat them. Light work. But FA Cup magic still exists. Let's not forget about that one, people. Somehow in FA Cup, all of the teams become very good, and you can get why, obviously. Any team can beat anyone because in a one-off game, anything is possible. We have seen this before. Last year, it was prime example, as Liverpool were top of the Premier League, they were top of the Champions League, and they got eliminated by Plymouth in the Cup, away 1-0. Obviously, games at Emirates, so I don't expect us to lose. Arsenal also, they have ability to rotate quite a bit because some players are coming back from injuries. The issue with all of this is, though, we have quite a few injuries, to say the least. We still have quite a few injuries for Arsenal, and it's not looking well. Definitely, it is not looking well in terms of rotation, in terms of squad we can put out to a certain degree, because we have been forced to put out the same players on and off and on and off pretty much every single time because certain players are out. And look at this. Mikel Merino obviously is out till the end of the season. Kai Havertz. Yes, Kai Havertz before the Brentford game suffered another injury, and he is out fully, ruled out, and it is undetermined for how long to a certain degree. At the moment on the page it says that he's gonna be back in 3 weeks, in the early March, but at the same time it's being said that he's currently being assessed. Nobody knows what is gonna happen, where it's gonna go, so Kai Havertz definitely is out, and that leaves just Eze and Odegaard. Ironically enough, Odegaard as well, he has come back from injury. He didn't look too great as well against Brentford. Same goes for Eze. It's a different video, we're gonna talk about this, but Eze definitely has been a rough one to watch. Obviously, the manager, the way he's been treated doesn't help, but it looks like also on the pitch he doesn't execute what the manager asks of him, and that again falls on the player himself. So we'll see how that's gonna go. Max Daumann, though, on the other hand, there are suggestions that Max Daumann is back. Not suggestions, there are reports that Max Daumann is back with the squad. He's training with the main team, which is great news. We definitely need someone like Max Daumann who is more direct, who could get some minutes on the ball. The thing is, again, He is one of those youngsters which are I don't see Arteta using too much, which is very very sad because when he has played, also just like Ethan Manieri, who is out on loan at Marseille right now. Obviously, they just sacked Zerbi and Ethan Marseille. Ideally, had a game today against Strasbourg. They lost in the last minutes of the game. Drew in the last minutes of the game, and Ethan didn't even see the pitch, ironically enough. So we'll see how that's gonna go there. But Max Dauman is one of those players who's very technical, very forward thinking. His first thought process is get the ball forward. So I definitely expect him to get some minutes, not get some minutes, maybe a substitution, maybe if it is possible. But long term, more specifically, when I think about this, over the course of the season, given how much our wing play is struggling, I'm not gonna lie, in the attack, I can see Max Dauman getting more minutes. Well, I cannot see it. I'm hoping he's gonna get, because based on how our attack is playing, how our wingers are performing, even how our number 10s are performing, by the way, because Havertz, ironically, he was out for the most of the season, right? And in the first week with playing with the team, he had better chemistry with Victor Gyökeres than Odegaard and Saka has had the whole season combined, interestingly enough. So we'll see how that's gonna go, but back to Max Dauman, I think he would be the ideal scenario. I think very forward thinking, he wants to attack, he wants to impress, he wants to cause havoc, chaos, and everything. I think he would be the perfect example for the attack, because our attack is very stale, I'm not gonna lie. It is stale, it is rough to watch, it is painful to watch, and we'll see how that's gonna go with Max Dauman. At the moment, obviously, he's still ruled out, but we'll see. I think he might actually not play tomorrow, but he might play in the Premier League game when that one comes. And William Saliba as well. He's going to be ready for late fitness tests tomorrow. It's a 50-50. Apparently, he has caught some sort of a bug, some sort of a virus. Not sure what kind. But he also was out, hence why he didn't play against Brentford. Mosquera played, and he did actually quite decently, I'm not going to lie, at the same time. Well, we should have lost that game, arguably, even. Yeah, we'll see how that's going to go with Saliba, how soon he will be back, whether it's going to be against Wigan, because he will need to get some minutes into legs before Wolves, and then before Spurs and everything. So we'll see how that's going to go. But tomorrow, against Wigan, I expect... I'm not going to say a hard game, because Wigan is a team we should be beating. Because if we look at... if we look at the table where Wigan sit in the league, right? It should not be, for Arsenal, it should not be a problem to kind of shouldn't be a problem for Arsenal to get rid of them. Let's just put it that way. At the same time, we know that Arsenal tend to make some let's just say life hard for themselves. Genuinely, they tend to make life harder for themselves than it should be. Wigan are sitting at the moment 22nd in League One. So I expect us to win. I'm obviously expect also a rotation. Kepa to play, Ben White to play, Mosquera, Hincapié, Calafiori needs to play because he hasn't played for quite a while. He has been injured, so he needs some minutes. Norgard, I expect quite a few of these players to play who don't usually get to play. I hope Eze starts. I genuinely hope Eze starts. Maybe he can get some confidence against Wigan. Maybe Jesus is gonna start. Obviously, in the attack, we have these issues with Sir Knox and injuries, which are a bit of a iffy one with Arsenal, because our attack, as stale it was, it's even more stale with certain players are out. So we don't have much wiggle room there. Saying that, Saka has come back from a bit of an injury, Odegaard as well. Arteta probably will want to get some minutes into them, so I would not be surprised if they play. But overall speaking, it should be light work, especially since we are at home. I would be a bit more worried if we played away, but since we are playing at home, it's on our terms, it's at our ground. We are much better team than Wigan. Our second team, our bench, is even better than Wigan's main team. I'm sorry, not sorry, Wigan fans, but that's just the truth. And we should get the job done. I'm going for a 4-0 win. We should make a statement. We need a massive bounce back result before the next Premier League game. We're going to play a Wolves away, because let's be real, the way we played against Wolves at home, it was embarrassing. I'm not gonna lie. So we need a bounce back. We need some extra lift into the team emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and physically as well. So we'll see how that's gonna go. So it should be light work tomorrow. We'll see what's gonna happen. I expect quite heavy rotation, and we should still do the trick. So let me know what you think about the game, what you think about the predicted 11, predicted score. Like, comment, subscribe, and see you soon. Peace.